Hi everybody, this is Nora and welcome to my tag video. Yes, this is a tag video and it's going to be about my stamping story. This video or this tag was started by Guyleen325 and I will have her video linked down in the description bar below so you guys can go check it out. And I was tagged by Guyleen and also Judy from Judenka Nail Art. I'll have both of their channels linked in the description bar so you guys can go check it out. So I'm going to go ahead and because this is a tag about our stamping story or history, if you may. Mostly, if you notice, what you see here is these are very old items. So I'm going to go ahead and start with question number 1. I do have 12 questions. And I'm going to tag in the beginning of my video, and I am going to tag them again at the end of the video. I am tagging Lilia, Sandra Disclafani, BeautybyGlory, and Yvonne Lopez. Yes, girls, I want to hear your story. So I hope you guys get to make a video like this and let us all know. So let me go ahead and start with my 12 questions. The first one is when did you start stamping? Okay, that was, yes, about 5 years ago. As you can tell, pretty much these items will age me. It will age my experience on when I started stamping. So yes, it was around 5 years ago. And how did that go? Not too well. From what you probably have seen on people that started stamping that many years ago. Yes, our first stampers, and I know that's one of the questions. So how did that go? No, it didn't go very well because of the materials that we had to work with at the time. And how long did it take me? That's question number 3. How long did it take me for a successful mani to be done? A lot. And I will say not hours, but I mean days, because I started out on nail art doing freehand work and I was so looking forward to stamping, and because it turned out to be such a disaster, I put it aside and went back to freehand. Let's see, question number 4. How or when did you decide to start doing it on YouTube? Well, on YouTube, believe it or not, so I've been my first YouTube, I started about 3 years ago in 2015, but my first YouTube video was not about stamping at all. I figured there was plenty. I did not consider myself to know enough to even have to anything good to share. I mean, there was already plenty of good stamping YouTube tutorials out there that I myself reference to. So my first video was not about stamping at all. It was an alcohol inks tutorial. So let's see, the next question, my first stamping plates. Okay, now this is starting to get interesting, because my first stamping plates, and because my stamping plates are all over, I don't even have them in order of collection anymore. And I did pull this out because this was one of my first purchases when I went into stamping, was this nice bundle holder from Bundle Monster. So most of my older plates are here, but my very first stamping plates, okay, here they are. These right here, these from Born Pretty, I bought a stash of them. I think that, I want to guess, about 20 of them. There was tons of them, and I only have a handful left because I went on and testing them. These are kind of tight in here. And the ones that were no good, there was a lot of dupes, a lot of duplicates, and not the ones that I tested and weren't any good, I threw them away. I only kept the ones that work very well. And by the way, because when we first started stamping so many years ago, so now I am jumping to question number 8 as far as the first stampers. Yeah, so this was my first stamper. That it's one of the reasons it was a disaster to begin with is because my nails, and I will insert a picture of my first designs. My nails were long, but because they're soft, I mean, when I will go stamp, not only did I have to worry about getting the images straight, not being able to see through this, but it always I bent my nails. And this is not a good example now because I did a new set of the dipping powder, so my nails are hardened from the acrylic. But yeah, it will always bend my nails, and I was like, well, okay, how is this supposed to work? I'm always bending my nails. I was very disappointed with it. And I was going to say, so using these stampers with these plates, and even though I was using a stamping polish, and here I'm jumping into another question, it wasn't working as well. But now that I'm glad that I kept these, because now that we have the clear jelly stampers, that's a whole different story, and they do pick up very well. So a lot of times it's not just the plate, it could be a combination of other things, and so I wish I had kept some of them. But yes, these were my first set of stamping plates right here. And then after, when I saw how horrible those were, that I was not able to work with them, my very first good stamping plate, because then I went on and this was an investment, I figured, let me go ahead and break the bank a little bit and really go on to something a little bit of better quality, was this cheeky stamping plate. And yes, I know it's dirty, but look at the back. See that mess? And yes, but I love the images on this stamping plate. It is the European Romance. And then one thing from these images, look how wide those are. And I was like, I love the images, but then the disappointment was like, I love these images, but I can't, by the time I stamp them on my skinny nails, it's like, unless it was these single images right here. But like, for example, one of my favorite ones, no wait, it was this column right here. Look at that. I love, because I love European designs. I love them for home interiors and decorating. How was I supposed, that Corinthian style column? There was no way I was going to fit that on my nail unless I just went for the side, and could you even tell it's a column, right? But yeah, this was my very first good stamping plate, is what I can say. For the polish, as I've mentioned just before, yeah, these were my first stamping polishes, were the Conat. I took some time in doing a little bit of research and found out that the Conat stamping polishes were the best at the time, and that's what I purchased from Amazon, and expensive. It's $8 a bottle, and I was so excited to get these metallics, the gold and the silver, but nonetheless these are like the worst silver and gold that you can ever get. They stamp, but they are so sheer, and then you can tell I have now used them. They are separated, but then you put top coat on these, and they it's kind of like they get even more sheer. You totally lose the effect. Now, don't get me wrong, I have used, I think, more the silver currently, but probably more as kind of like a background, kind of this, if I'm going to do something as a backdrop for an image and then stamp something on top of it. So the best green from that original collection that I've ever purchased, or the best Conat polish, is this green right here, because it's got a little bit of shimmer. Let me see if it has a name. Yeah, none of these have names. I guess you just go by the color. But it's a green, it's a shimmery green, and I love this polish. I've not been able to find one like it. I love how it stamps. I don't use it, not used it very often, but so I have a lot of it left, and I do like it. I like the red, it's good. This yellow, it's so-so. The rest, blue, orange, pink, nah, I've had better. And yes, I already told you about my first stampers. This was one of the first ones. And who remembers these mushroom stamp heads? Let me show you. So when these mushroom stampers came out, because these were too hard for my nails, and I will tell you why I have so many of these little ones. These are still great for stickers, okay? So yes, that's why I purchased extra, because then when I learn about advanced stamping, I figure, oh, I need extra stampers, just like we now have several clear jelly stampers for different purposes. So yes, I started doing the stickers with those. But then with these, look, Look how bad this looks. Oh my gosh. My very first experience with these marshmallow stampers. And when we were using these, we used to clean them with acetone. And then when I was cleaning this with acetone, it was like the cotton, it just made a mess, because then the whole thing, they're so sticky. You put a cotton ball to this and it will be all fuzzy with debris of cotton. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, so these are great. They really mold nicely around my soft nails, but how am I going to clean this without getting cotton and the fibers, cotton fibers all over it? And I went on to Instagram and asked the girls that I followed at the time, and that's when somebody told me about the idea of using the lint rollers. I was like, oh, okay, thank you for bringing the light. And so I started cleaning these with the the lint roller, and that was awesome. So yes, this was at the time, this was, to me, this did what the clear jelly stamper is doing today for the newbies. Okay, moving on to question number 9. Do you own any brand's entire collection of plates or stamping polish? Do I own an entire particular collection? Yes, and I will say the very first collection that was an entire collection, and I'm sorry it's not here in order because I have these organized in a weird way. Oh, I guess I can. So I own the entire, and I think almost everybody does, I own the entire holiday collection from Bundle Monster. Yes, and I think that's how it starts out here. So this all, and I think it's the only one that I've seen as far as covering almost every holiday of the year and then some. So yes, this is an entire collection that I own. My very first one is quite old, from Bundle Monster, and a more recent one, I will say I now own the entire collection of stamping plates that Beauty Big Bang has come out with. Last 3 questions. If you can only use one brand of stamping polish from now on, what will you use? Okay, so the same thing for plates and stampers. If I could only use one brand of stamping polish today, I will have to say it will be it will have to be between Beauty Big Bang and Born Pretty Store, and that's because they're easily accessible, well priced. I mean, they're very affordable, and the selection that they have, I mean, between the two, they have almost every color out there. I mean, Born Pretty Store, they even have color changing stamping polishes, right? And I will have to say the same thing for stamping plates and stampers. I mean, between both of them, Born Pretty and Beauty Big Bang, they have all kinds of different, even now, the clear stampers in different sizes. And the plates, the variety of plates that they both have are great and fun and really, really good quality, very well priced. And while I do have a few of the Mundo de Uñas stamping polishes, and they were great when they came out, they are not my favorite. I mean, they were great when they came out, but they just dried too fast. They stamp really well. The scent, the strong scent coming from them was not as bad for me. I mean, it didn't bother me as much, but I bought the mini bottles and they just dried too fast for me. So I guess that is it. I think I've covered everything. If you guys have questions, leave them below. I think I've pretty much aged, like a few of the other ladies here we have aged ourselves with bringing out these old stampers. You girls nowadays have it easy with the clear stampers. So that's really good. So no excuse. Let me go ahead. I am going to, again, and before I end the video, I am going to tag Lilia, Sandra Disclafani, BeautybyGlory, and Yvonne Lopez. I'm tagging you girls. Would like to hear your story if you can make this video. Thank you girls for joining me today for my tag video. I hope you guys give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe for more, and thank you for watching.